CEO of Sindh Agro Coal Mining Company. He was the Senior Vice President of Ingro Foods too. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause for Mr. Shamsuddin Sheikh. The floor is yours.
How much time do I have?
You have around 20 minutes, sir.
20 minutes. Okay. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And thank you very much. So I have to finish everything in 20 minutes, so I'll go fast. I've got a longish presentation on responsible leadership. I don't know it's a responsible leadership or more selfish leadership. We have been putting up plants all over Pakistan, also abroad. The easier thing to do is to go and put up a plant or industry, put up huge boundary walls, hire the best people from wherever you can get, and make lots of money. But this time when we went to some area, a poor area, we decided to do things differently. People call it responsible leadership. At times, we also call it selfish leadership. And I think if you are a bit selfish, nothing wrong in being that, but selfishness can also work together with being responsible. I'll explain. Before I go into this, what we are doing over there, just a bit on the project itself so that there is a little bit background. Pakistan needs lots of electricity, cheap electricity, and indigenous electricity. Long-term energy requires abundant, cheap, and most importantly, an indigenous source of power. We always knew that Thar has got enormous quantity of coal. And today we don't want to talk about coal and renewables and stuff like that. After my presentation, we can sit down and talk about it, what's important for Pakistan. When CPEC came to Pakistan, when the Chinese came to Pakistan, a study was done, and the first sentence of that study said the development potential of Thar coal is huge. It is sufficient to supply fuel demands of Pakistan for several centuries. Something that we should have done it in the 80s. We did not do it. For 30, 40 years, we were sitting on this, and alhamdulillah, now we are doing it. In 2016, the financial close for this project was done. This is the biggest public-private partnership in Pakistan. Private sector working with government of Sindh. We started working on this in 2008. In 2016, 8 years after spending $20 million, we got to the financial close. Financial close that consisted of $3 billion of a project, which incidentally is the biggest project in private sector. Previous biggest project that was done in private sector was about $1 billion, also incidentally done by Angro. This is a $3 billion project that was done. We started in 2016, April of 2016, and the story that I tell you is just from that April, and now we are almost 24 months into this project. Alhamdulillah, we are very happy to tell you that the first electron, the first unit, the 660 megawatt that we are constructing over there, which will go to 4,000 megawatts in 2024. The first unit from Thar will inshallah be energized this year. So this year, by December this year, inshallah, we'll have first electron coming out of Thar, which was really a dream for the people who know power sector in Pakistan. They know that they had been waiting for this for 30, 40 years, and inshallah this year we should inshallah be able to add the first electron into the national grid. Thank you very much. Then we will also start the expansion work for the second phase. In 22 months or now 24 months, this is some of the statistics, and let's go into this. This is a view of the mine. This is the first open pit mine in Pakistan. The coal is at 140 meters, start at 140 meters. We are already at 125 meters. So inshallah, in next few months, June, July, inshallah, we should be able to reach the coal seam. And inshallah, we should be able to do it. Just statistics. We have got 1% of Thar. We as a company have got 1% of Thar, and this 1% can produce 5,000 megawatts for 50 years. So imagine the magnitude, and it would be the cheapest power for Pakistan. So we have really missed the opportunity. This is the site for the power plant. Inshallah, power plant is coming up very nicely. Public-private partnership, 5 months ahead of schedule, 20% less than the cost. This is what really, when we talk about the project. But then today's topic is not about putting up the mining and power project. I was just telling someone today that where I live in Karachi, my kids go to the best of the schools. We have been studied in the best of the universities. But unfortunately, Allah did not let coal produce under my feet. Under my house, I can tell you that there is no coal. Coal is under these guys. Allah has given coal under these guys. And look at what the thing is. This is the area which is richest in natural resource in Pakistan. Infant mortality, 87 over 1,000. Maternal mortality rate, 297 over 100,000. No drinking water. No access to health facilities. This is the poorest of the poor district. Second poorest. Chaghi is the poorest. This is the second poorest district. And this is where Allah took us to go and do something for the country. And when we went there, this is the poorest area of Pakistan. So when we went there, we had a look that what is the real mission of the company? Is the mission of the company just to go and exploit the coal over there, produce power over there, take the power to Lahore, Karachi, Islamabad, ensure that everybody gets good ACs, run your factories cheaply, make lots of money, or to take care of the people also over there? People over there are very poor, but probably the best possible people, the mild people, very, very nice people. When we went there, they were so scared of the development even. They are happy the way they are, very poor, no education, but I can guarantee that they are much more happier than all of you put together. In that state of mind, they are there. And when we went there, we told them that we are going to do this, we are going to do this. They really got scared. And one of the person came and caught me by my hand and said that, what are you going to do to us? We are okay the way we are. Please don't give us any education. Don't give us any health. Please do not disturb our life. And this is where we really started. We really started thinking that we ought to do something over there. We are here, so we have to not only do the project that we are doing, but we also have to take care of these people and ensure that these people become happy. So we made our goal that more important for us is when the project gets completed, it is not that people of Pakistan or the Prime Minister gives us an award or whatever. When the Prime Minister came there, and this project also has got a significance that at that time Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif and ex-President Asif Zardari both came to this project to do the groundbreaking. And one of the persons over there said to Prime Minister that once the project is completed, we must give award to these guys. And I told Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif at that time that this project is so big that it really deserves a Nishan-e-Haider. And he said that, yeah, you guys complete the project and we'll even give you a Nishan-e-Haider for that. But anyway, the thing is that the people over there are extremely, extremely poor over there, extremely poor over there. And then the best of the people. So we said, we ought to do something for these people so that their lives are improved. So we made a criteria among ourselves, the management, more than sponsors, the management made the criteria that our criteria of finishing the project is when the people of the area say to us that we are happy with you guys coming in, not because somebody tells me in Islamabad or gives us an award or whatever. More important is that when people of the area say, yes, you did the right job, you took care of us, the project became very beneficial. One of the person came to me, and that keeps on resonating in my mind. When the person came to me and said, he caught my hand and said, and I say it in Sindhi, I'm from there, so he said that, "Asan to ke tu to asanjo penjo hai. You are our own. You are our own, and jeko tu asan lai faislo kande asanke wo acceptable hondo." Just after talking to him for 2 minutes, the guy says to me, first tells me, don't do anything, we don't want anything. And when I told him that who I am and what we plan to do, he caught my hand and said, okay, you are our own, you are part of us, and whatever you will decide, we'll accept whatever you are saying. This is the way the people are. This is the way the poor people are. So this is what the industry should be doing over there. When the industry goes, then it has to make a difference over there. You just cannot go and make resources. Look at what we did at Sui. We went there, we got everything from Sui, and we did not give them anything in return. And see what happened to Balochistan. We really don't want the same thing to happen at other places in Pakistan when you go and exploit resources and you do not do anything for them. So the first thing we did, even before we started doing the things, we said we must put up a foundation so that we can start working. Just 2%, 1.5 or 2% of the project cost versus the 98% that is being spent on all the project and everything, mine and power and God knows whatever is happening over there. Just spend, just don't wait for CSR. CSR is a misnomer. It's completely lost its significance now. CSR is not what it used to be. Now CSR, the companies, and I am from one of the biggest companies of Pakistan. We just do CSR just to show it to everyone. People are coming, show it to the reporters. We have put up a school. Okay, fine. Whatever is happening inside the school, who cares? My name is just outside, so I can tell them. This is 2 hospitals that we have done. This is one thing that we have done. We have constructed something. We'll just do this, that, whatever. Just put your heart to it and make it work. And I think this is such an inclusive and such a great model that once you start doing it, you start reaping the benefits. So we did Thar Foundation, and so impact areas, education, health. It's such a poor area that you can do anything you want over there. There is really, your heart says that I want to work on women, I want to work on education, I want to work on vocational studies, I want to do disaster management. Anything you want to do, everything is open over there. So we selected these 10 areas to work for us, just to benchmark ourselves, sustainable goals. We plan to become, we are the biggest public-private partnership in the environment, economic sector. We also want to become the biggest public-private partnership in social sector, and we are enticing the government to start working with us. The government has still not started working with us, but we hope that they'll start working with us. So when we went there, a phrase was coined that these are the project effectees. We are going and buying 25,000 acres of land. Obviously, people do get affected over there. So are they the effectees or they are the beneficiaries? We said no. We will not call them effectees. Day one, we will call them beneficiaries of this project. Allah has given them coal under their feet, and we will go and tell them that because you have coal under your feet, we have come here to exploit this coal, but the benefit of this first must flow to you guys. You are the beneficiary of the project and not the effectee. First thing what we did, we made them shareholders. Everybody at that place who gets affected because of the project has become a shareholder of that company. 3% of the shares have been diluted by Government of Sindh. We do sit down and, it's also a good habit for us that we keep on bickering about Government of Sindh. Government of Sindh diluted 3% of their shares and made them the shareholders of the company. So everybody who gets affected for 30 years of the project, they will start getting the dividends. So now instead of persons coming and telling me that, do something for us, he comes and tells me, please work hard so that I get maximum dividends. Don't waste this money, because if you are going to waste this money, my dividends will decrease, so please work. Why are you wasting money? So, they started becoming the shareholder and they have started acting as such. Then we started working on education, and I don't want to talk about a whole lot. I can just tell you, this is just 2 years we are into this. April 2016, we got into this. Now is March and April. This year, we will have 5,000 kids studying in our schools. In 2 years' time, we have spent more than $600 million rupees to put up 13 schools, 3 TCF schools, 1,000 kids each, and 180 kids, 10 primary schools, 180 kids each, 5,000 kids. In 2 years' time, we have got 5,000 kids studying the best possible education. They'll get best possible education. And our goal is set. By 2022, we'll have 22,000 kids studying in our schools. And this is without government help. Health. Dr. Bari is here. We are working with them so that we can put up a state-of-the-art, best possible hospital over there. Until that hospital comes up over there, 250-bed hospital. Sir, please, we'll do the clapping in the end. So the 250, so we are going to start this, and Government of Sindh and everybody else is helping with us. And before that clinic comes up, the big clinic with Indus comes up, we have already started putting up smaller clinics all over the place so that we can start providing help. We want to make our block, the place, 100% hepatitis free. We want to make it eye care, cataract free and TB free, and all those things we are already doing. Human resources development, the biggest thing that we are doing over there is we have got 2,500 people working over there. We want those people to start working for us. So today we are very happy to tell you that we have got 71% of our employees, right, starting from me as head of the company to the janitorial service, 71% of the people are from Thar. The people who have worked over there, those people who have got. And when we started doing that, we had lots of problems. You know, people carrying domiciles of Thar, sitting in Islamabad and Karachi and stuff like that, saying that it's our right. We said no. The people who have done matriculation from Thar, they are the real Tharis, whether you are from Islamabad or you are from Fata or wherever you are. If you have done matric from Thar, then you are a Thari, and 71% of the people are working over there. We have got Descon, Training Institute, Hunar, Amantech, everybody is over there. Lots of work is being done over there. We have already, because after the end of this year, we will start having the operations, so people are being sent to the school so that they can learn and come back and become the operators. We are hiring trainee engineers over there. Lots of things, together with Celani, we are giving them Android training. Then moving on to livelihood, we want to establish the two topics that I want to talk a little bit more on that. One is the biosaline agriculture. Thar has got lots of underground water. Lots of underground water it has, and it is about 4,000 to 5,000 ppm. World over, biosaline agriculture is done. Agriculture that is done together with slightly saltish water. In Pakistan, it is not there. What we are trying to do is to develop this so that we can start working on this. And for the first time, cotton was grown and sunflower was grown in Thar together with that saline water. And please imagine, we are a mining company, we are not an agriculture company. But we started looking at these things and we said that this has got such a huge impact over the area. We ought to work on it. We need to spend money on it. So we went and did a MOU with a Chinese university. We did an MOU with Karachi University, and lots of work was done. So it is. We really believe that this will result in reverse migration. People migrate from Thar to the Ravine areas. We believe people from Ravine areas will come back to Thar because such a huge agriculture potential would be there. Then we are doing the fishing over there. Fishing in Thar is something that one can not even imagine because there is no water over there, but the underground water that's coming out, we are putting fishes over there, and it's happening over there. Infrastructure. We were supposed to move people from 25,000 acres of land to some other place. And for us, the more important part was to ensure that we give them the best livelihood. We give them the best of the houses. And some of the people of you have also visited. On the left, you can see the houses where they live. On the right, you can see the houses where they are moving. Each house is being constructed by the best architect of Karachi. I cannot afford that architecture because Allah did not give me coal under my feet. These people do afford the best architect of Karachi, Murlidhar, who's constructing the houses. Each house is costing 4 million rupees to us, and we are constructing these houses for them. Whoever gets affected gets into a house. If you are a father living with 3 married kids, you get 4 houses. And these houses have all been constructed with the help of the females. We went to the females, we hired Sindhi-speaking females so that they can go understand how they want to live, these females want to live, and give them a much better housing. So they will move from one housing to the other. Drinking water, there is no drinking water at Thar. Government has put up RO plants and stuff like that. Some of them are working, some of them are not working. We are taking care of all the RO plants, and we are trying to bring water so that we have to ensure that, because most of the diseases over there and bigger problems over there, Thar, is because of water, and we are taking care of that. And we will, within 5 years, we will inshallah we have requested government to hand over all the RO plants to us so that we can take care of that. Women empowerment. Number of initiatives we did. First, we said, we are hiring so many people, why not hire Thari women? What to give to a Thari woman? What's a good job for a Thari woman? We knew these women are very resilient, very, very hardworking. What to do with those girls? Somebody said, why don't you bring her and make her a receptionist, nurse? We said, no, they are much more hardworking than the men. We see that day in and day out, we see that these women are much more hardworking than their counterparts. Let's give them the most hardest of the work. And we started thinking, somebody said, give them the hardest possible work, and we started thinking, what's the most hardest work that we have? Let's try out females and let's see if they can do it. And we said, we have got those huge dump trucks. In mining, we have got huge dump trucks. The dump trucks that you see here in Islamabad, they are much smaller, 3 or 4 times. We said, let's make them sit in those trucks and make them drive those trucks. And everybody started laughing. The people started laughing. The journalists started laughing. When we put the newspaper ad to hire females, everybody started laughing at us, and we became a big laughing stock. But Alhamdulillah, today, we have got 30 females, Thar. 30 females. When we only used to hear that the females are dying in the hospitals during childbirth, the most miserable of the miserable, those females now, alhamdulillah, they are driving trucks more confidently than the men counterpart. They are driving those huge trucks and doing very, very well at that. And look at those women when they go back to their homes, how much empowerment now they have. Because of them, first, when they were coming, they said, we cannot come because we have to have our men with us. So we don't want to hire men with you, we just want to hire you. But they said, well, we'll not come without men. So we had to hire their husbands or brothers and stuff like that. And they became very proud that because of them, their husbands got a job. Then one day, I just tell you, just one example I gave you. On a Sunday, I went there, and we were there, and I saw these ladies standing there and laughing. And I said, what's wrong? Why they are laughing? You know, they seem very happy. There must be something. And I asked them this question, and they said, one of the ladies, because I can speak Sindhi, and I talked to them, and I said that this is the first time that they have ever come out of their house alone without their husbands or brothers. Because on Sunday, because some people were going, and we wanted to tell them that this is how we are employing the females. And we asked those females to come just to demo the trucks. And the husbands decided not to come. Because they were, every day they used to come, and, men are men. So they didn't want it to come. They said, ask their woman, because the woman had become so confident that they started. So they all came in their own bus. They came in the bus all by themselves. None of the men folk was with them. And they were so happy that because of this job, now they do not have to tag along with their husbands, and they can come alone. And they came, and they were demonstrating the trucks and stuff like that. Hunar Shop, we have put up a Hunar Shop where we have taken the middlemen out, and we are trying to promote their things. This is 25 now. There are 28 trailblazing women empowerment being trained as a heavy dump driver trucks. Now they are driving trucks, and some of you have seen. We have got the first trainee engineer from Thar. This girl came in as an engineer. She had gone to Hyderabad to get engineering. And then when she came back, she was sitting at home. We went to her home. We told her parents, please send her, please send her, please send her. And then they started coming together with the father, together with mother, together with everyone. That poor girl was coming to us. And now, alhamdulillah, she's holding a very important job. And we don't see mother and father tagging along. She stays with us and everything. Disaster management, Thar villages get fire. Every day you hear this in summers. It's such a dry place, and they live in those type of houses, and they do not have any fire trucks or stuff like that. So we go and manage. We have built number of villages. Culture and heritage. We are taking Rajasthan next to India, next to Pakistan border is Rajasthan, Thar. A tourist resort, really. Lots of people go to Rajasthan. We have got all the same things. We have got forts, we have got mandars, we have got masjids, we have got everything. But as it is, things are going bad to us. And we are taking over this in the middle, Naukote Fort, which is one of the biggest forts in Thar. We are taking it over, and inshallah, we are going to revive it. We have put up this book. It took us 3 years to put up this book. All the old pictures of that place, we have done it. Music, youth development, Green Park, Thar, Green, Thar. We are putting up million trees. We wanted to call it a million tree tsunami, and somebody said, please call it million tree, don't call it tsunami, because then it will have political connotation, so just call it million trees. So we did million trees. So these are the people. Look at them. Look at their faces. Look at their faces. These are the real people of Thar. It is our job. It is the responsibility of the corporate world to go and ensure. Please do not expect that the government will go and do everything. It is just not possible. Where we have reached, it is just not possible for the government to go and do everything by themselves. We have to partner the government. We have to look at the sincere people in the government, go and discuss the plans with them, become a public-private partnership, become responsible, and do things for them. This basically ends my presentation. I just have got a small video which we would show that how Thar is going to help change Pakistan. Thank you very much.
है बुलंदी से फलक बोझ नशेमन मेरा, अब रेकोसार हूँ गुलपाश है दामन मेरा। कभी सहरा कभी गुलजार है मस्कन मेरा, मस्कन मेरा।
राया बारी ते गरड़ा वे ओ उठम बत जा पीड़ा, अल्लाह
अब इल्म की फिजाएं गूंजेंगी सबके लब पर, झूमेंगी अब रिदाएं, बदलेंगी सारे मंजर। थर की जमीन, थर की जमीन,
अचो मिली बदलायूं तकदीर असी वतन जी, आए फकरत थींदासी खुशबू असी चमन जी।
थर की जमीन, थर की जमीन，
让我们携手在路上，为了共同的梦想，让它儿绽放光芒。
हर सू बिखरेगी मुस्कान, हर बदलेगा पाकिस्तान। हर सू बिखरेगी मुस्कान, हर बदलेगा पाकिस्तान। हर बदलेगा पाकिस्तान, बदलेगा पाकिस्तान। हर बदलेगा पाकिस्तान, हर बदलेगा पाकिस्तान। अब रोशनी बनेगी, तामीर में ढलेगी, खुशियों की राह गुजर में हर समत ये बहेगी।
मुझे माशरो सेहतमंद भुख बीमारी न खाई, हर जी ज़मीं विराईंदी हर तरफ रोशनाई।
थर की जमीन, थर की जमीन，
让沙漠花海绽放，失去苦难悲伤，让世界改变模样。
हर सू बिखरेगी मुस्कान, हर बदलेगा पाकिस्तान। 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 हर बदलेगा पाकिस्तान, बदलेगा पाकिस्तान। हर बदलेगा पाकिस्तान, हर बदलेगा पाकिस्तान।
Ladies and gentlemen, I visited Thar twice with Mr. Shamsuddin Sheikh and his team, and I witnessed his work, his dedication for the Tharis, and I always call him a Mazdoor CEO. My expectation for all of you to a standing ovation for this gentleman.
Thank you very much. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, wasn't that a very heartwarming and excellent presentation? Yes, Mr. Shamsuddin Shah, I love your message on women empowerment too. We thank you for that. Ladies and gentlemen, I really do love his message on being honest and knowing what you did wrong, focusing on what you can do right and what you can do better. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, please give a big round of applause for Mr. Shamsuddin Shah.